Hello and welcome to the Helping Hand TV show with me, the voice of ability on air for persons with disability. This is the special Election Watch series where we bring you all the news, the views and the interviews from the disability community.
In their manifestos, they should cater for persons with disability.
Society free of discrimination and stigmatization.
We expect government to ensure that all the public facilities are accessible.
Election is in the air. We must vote based on policies, and our elected officials must know what actually we at the grassroots are going through, especially we in the disability community. It is a special Election Watch series. Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of the Helping Hand TV show. It's an Election Watch series. On the Helping Hand TV show, we throw the spotlight on the abilities of persons with disability. As we get on towards the elections, the disability community, we want to have our voices heard. People overlook us and we are an afterthought and all that, but not this time. On the Helping Hand TV show, we are going to dedicate the series to talk more, advocate more, let the voices in the disability community to be heard. You are with me, the voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Today I have a very, very capable and special friend. She's going to walk us through the nitty-gritties of what we have to do. I'll go for a quick commercial break. I'll be right back. Stay tuned.
We'll be right back.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, you are with me, the voice of ability on air for persons with disability, and today I want to introduce you to someone with so much ability. Some people call her the greatest friend, others call her the sweet companion, and others still call her the faithful worker. She is dependable, reliable and adorable, and she's committed to lending you a helping hand anytime, anywhere. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome DV Cleaners.
DV Cleaners Alata Samina Shower Gels, DV Cleaners Aloe Vera Shower Gels, DV Cleaners Body Lotions, DV Cleaners Hair Shampoos, DV Cleaners Hair Conditioners, DV Cleaners Liquid Detergents, DV Cleaners Hand Wash, DV Cleaners Floor Cleaners, DV Cleaners Toilet Cleaners, DV Cleaners Cake Soaps, and now introducing DV Cleaners Hand Sanitizers. For bulk purchase, call us on +233 278 308 246 or +233 244 467 326. DV Cleaners, one of the top most made in Ghana products. DV Cleaners, proudly Ghanaian.
And so remember that anytime you purchase any of the DV Cleaners range of products, you are lending a helping hand to a person with disability, and you are supporting H4P organization's special advocacy for persons with disability. DV Cleaners,
Nature's finest touch.
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back to the Helping Hand TV show with me, the voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Thank you so much for tuning in to this program. I have my very special guest, Rita Kusi Chirema. She's the Executive Director of Ghana Federation of Disability Organizations. Like I said, she's the most capable person because she's the Executive Director of Ghana Federation of Disability Organizations. Rita, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I know you are so busy and you are doing so much for Ghana. Over 15 years of this work you are doing. You've been a practitioner, social work, human rights advocate and all that. It's amazing. How has it been for you?
Oh, thank you very much. It's really been an inspiration. It's been a learning opportunity for me. It's been an opportunity to connect and serve. I have used a good part, or let me say a very useful part of my time.
Okay.
For the 15 years, it's been a period we are full of energy, full of strength, and I'm happy that I have contributed part of that life.
A lot, actually. You've contributed a lot
in promoting
to Ghana.
disability rights in Ghana. Yeah.
And as a woman, I'm so proud of you. I always talk about you everywhere, that you are the kind of people we need in this country with the kind of work you have done, especially when it comes to policy formulation. didn't you have challenges, especially rubbing shoulders with the men here and there?
Not at all.
Okay.
The Federation operates with different structures.
Okay.
And I am happy to say that we had, currently we have people who are more empowered to support the work. And so we work as a team. At the operational level, we have a team that works on the issues. And at the more policy or political level of the organization, we have a team that supports. And so we attribute the achievements to whatever everyone did throughout the 15 years.
Okay. Yeah. But Rita, you know, the kind of work we do, it doesn't pay financially.
Yeah.
What motivates you still to keep doing this kind of work?
You know, that excitement and fulfillment, I mean, the excitement that you've made impact, you've brought that change that is contributing to people's lives.
Exactly.
There are times where we all came together, struggled to get disability included in some policies.
Yeah.
For some times we were not successful, but for the few times we succeeded, we celebrated. And that alone is better than any financial benefits that one may get in working with and for persons with disabilities.
Talking about making impact, Ghana is getting ready for the elections. The voice of the disability community must be heard. Let's begin to walk through some of the things we are expecting. Any government that will be elected, from the disability community's point of view, what are they supposed to look at? What are we supposed to make them know? Because normally they don't really know what we are suffering at the grassroots. They know, okay, so policy manifestos and all that, but what exactly? Let's start with healthcare.
Well, for many years, the disability movement has worked towards getting Ghana to be an inclusive society. Of course, it's been an agenda of government, but the movement strategically works towards ensuring that Ghana makes provision for persons with disabilities. So in the area of health, we believe that the health policies should be looked at. For instance, we're talking about the health insurance. We know that many persons with disabilities do not have the financial capacity to pay, to register for health insurance to start with. So what are the opportunities in the law that allows or that promotes persons with disabilities registration?
Can there be a concession for persons with disability?
There is a cap for more of marginalized or people who do not have the capacity to access the benefits or the opportunities in the Act. And persons with disabilities are deemed to fit within that cap. However, it is not clarified. It is not very clear. And that is something the disability movement is engaging the relevant authorities to ensure there is clarity for persons with disabilities to access the scheme and also to access better health care and support.
When a hearing impaired person goes to the hospital and there is no sign language interpreter, how do we go around that? Because some of these things create a lot of problems.
Yeah, they do. We've had instances where people have lost their lives because of the communication gap. As in they getting their prescriptions wrong. And leading to their death. And so it comes with a challenge. But we know that some health institutions and centers have started training health workers as sign language interpreters. Some also call on the sign language interpreters to access support when there is a person with hearing impairment or a deaf person who goes in for a service. But it is something that government should look at broadly, because in almost every community in Ghana, you have deaf persons.
Yeah.
And so to fully promote access, it is important for government to look at providing accessible service, facilitating accessible communication at the health centers and in other hospitals that we visit. So any government that comes should begin to look at sign language being a national language.
Great.
It is an issue that the Ghana National Association of the Deaf is pushing, and we are all supporting, because if it's a national language, we will see the need to provide access to all the services for persons with hearing impairments.
I think it's a great thing you are saying. So that our educational system would have that inculcated in it. If they can be trained, children can be taught sign language right from there.
Yes. The issues are related. So then that takes us to education. So it has to start from our system, our education system, for instance. How are we providing for accessibility? Ghana has an inclusive education policy. How is that policy being implemented? Is it getting the needed support for implementation? Does the Special Education Division has the necessary resources to facilitate this implementation? In terms of financial, human resources, learning materials, it's broad. We don't just see the policy being adopted and put on the shelves, but I think government paying attention to the details of the policy should be a priority, because a lot of children with disabilities are at home because they don't find space in the institutions within their communities. They are not accepted. So it should be a priority for government, if government is looking at an inclusive society for all. An inclusive education system should pay attention to the needs of every child, including children with special needs.
I'll go for a break. When I come back, we'll talk more about education, because it looks like we have a lot of work to do in that field. I'll go for a break. I'll be right back. Stay tuned.
We'll be right back.
The equation for success has a lot of variables, and great leadership is a combination of great habits. Great leaders are great readers, so I make it a point to read great materials every day. The Chosen Generation is a must-read book if you believe in your greatness.
The Chosen Generation, available on Amazon, or call +233 550 507 077 or +233 20 197 9481. Purchase copies of The Chosen Generation and support the H4P organization's special advocacy for persons with disability. Now available on Jumia, so grab your copies now.
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back to the Helping Hand TV show with me, the voice of ability for persons with disability. I still have my very special guest with me, Rita, the Executive Director of Ghana Federation of Disability Organizations. Rita, the thing about education, shouldn't whichever government is coming in make it a priority, setting up particular schools for particular disabilities? Because some people can be inculcated into the mainstream, even the education system wouldn't even take them. People are keeping their children at home, because if you are taking the child to school, you have to add a caretaker and all that, and it creates a whole lot of problems. Where does government come in?
Well, I think that government should have interest in at all levels, be it special education or the mainstream education system. The implementation of the inclusive education policy does not entirely erode the special education system. As you rightly said, there are people or children with severe impairments and should be given some attention. But one good thing is that the inclusive education system that government is implementing is starting from the basic, looking at the more mild to moderate impairments, and so it's gradual. I'm sure there will be a system in future that is more inclusive, that pays attention to children with severe disabilities. And so the better understanding is that yes, there are people or children who may need special support or some more support than others, and therefore may want to go to the special schools. But the point is that broadly, there should be a system that accepts children with disabilities. A system that provides the opportunity for us to learn and improve on the policy that we are implementing in Ghana.
So what do we do when, say I have a child with disability, I'm looking for school for the child, and no school wants to accept my child?
It's come up a number of times. Parents or guardians get frustrated when they encounter such situations. We know that at the community level, some parents resort to going to the education office and talking to the institutions to get advice. But we also get some of them directly connecting to some civil society groups like ours for assistance. For a parent at a community level, it is, I mean, you know, broadly due to the limited knowledge about the existence of this policy on inclusive education and generally access to information on how people should manage some of these situations. A lot of parents are indeed keeping their kids at home. And so we encourage parents to visit the education offices at the district levels to get some technical support. There are special education support teams at the local level or at the district levels to assist. And once they connect with the district assembly or the education office, some support will be provided. But we also advise that they try to connect with the organizations of persons with disabilities at the community level. It's the organizations are individuals with disabilities who have come together. They are sharing their own experiences. They have received or they have access to some information that will be relevant to their entire membership. So as parents or caregivers or guardians, we should connect with our community groups to be part of the conversation and the support system.
So Rita, just before we leave off education, do you think it's too much to ask of government that the schools that do inclusive education, they should modify it to fit the persons with disability? They should maybe give grants or something so that the schools will be more willing to accept the students? Would it be too much to ask of government?
As owners of the educational institutions or facilities, we are citizens and should abide by the rules and the laws of the land. And so if you are putting up a school and government says there is a law that promotes access, it is the responsibility of the institution to ensure that they make provision for that. Of course, this goes largely to all government facilities or institutions. But of private institutions or private schools, you are business oriented. Of course, contributing to education sector, but there is a business element of it. And so if you are looking to get more people to your school, naturally, you should work, and strategically, you should work towards making your facility accessible to everyone. For government institutions, it is by law. And so we have been advocating that government should increase the budget for inclusive education, so that the budget will take care of making the facilities accessible, providing for accessible learning and teaching materials. It will contribute towards making the system inclusive, making it more accessible to everyone.
Let's talk accessibility. Let's start with information. Ghana as it stands now, are we there yet? Okay, are we almost there yet? Are we halfway there yet? Accessibility to information when it comes to persons with disability.
We are it's critical, but I just want to say that we are getting ourselves ready to be there, because I see that, of course, in the past and the present government, I see some efforts in providing some level of accessibility. It means that at least the thinking is there. There is that reflection as to the need to include. However, there is also the observation that the access has been limited to sign language service or to persons with hearing impairment. And so you see some programs on TV, you see Ministry of Information communicating or sharing information in sign language. But what about the other accessible means? How do persons with visual impairment get access to information? We hear and see a lot of our communication, some pictures, pictorial formats, but how do we translate them to an accessible format for persons with intellectual disability? How do we break the big English we speak on TV down for them to understand, you know? So we seem to be getting to understand or know that there is something to be done. But we are yet to fully prepare ourselves as a country. It should be a priority. Ministry of Communication, Ministry of Information, access, digital access. Now we're talking about e-learning. Ask how many persons with disabilities, persons with visual impairments are accessing it. You know, there are a lot of things to be looked at, and so we need to prioritize it. That's why, again, as you asked, any government that comes should prioritize issues of disability, because there can never be any meaningful inclusion if persons with disabilities are left out of the development process.
Most of the people complain about budget. They don't have the money to do it, both on radio and on TV. They don't have the money. How do we make sure that we are not left out in the disability community when it comes to such things?
Usually it's, of course, you need financial resource to do it, but if you don't know what you want to do,
even if you have it,
it doesn't make any use, any good use. So the first priority for any service provider or any institution should be to understand the kind of needs that should be looked at, what the gaps are. And so we have organizations available to provide that direct support to institutions based on their needs. So if a radio station wants to provide access, ensure there is access to information or the programs that they run, the greatest step will be to link up with, say, the National Council on Disability, which is a government institution in charge of disability issues, or any of our organizations. This time, because of technology, it is not difficult connecting, going online and searching for the Ghana National Association of the Deaf or the Disability Movement. I mean, any of our organizations. The Federation is also available to provide support. So I think it's been helpful, it's been easy to connect through technology. Let's connect. But the National Council on Disability, it's a government institution and could easily be located within
is it
the
easily
ministry.
accessible? Are they easily accessible?
Yeah, they are. I mean, once you connect with, say, Ministry of Gender, but it is an independent body as well. So we can just search online for them and connect with their office for any support. Yeah.
Let's talk about the built environment, accessibility. We are struggling with getting public buildings to be accessible to persons with disability. Almost every election time, we hear political parties give promises, we'll change this, we'll do this, we'll do that. And still the problem of accessibility is still there. What is the way forward?
Again, it's about prioritization. We know that the National Accessibility Standards has been adopted by government. And so it's a working document now. We need the relevant government institutions who are in charge of construction, houses, roads, and other infrastructure to implement that. To refer, because it's a very useful document that gives guidelines on how to provide accessibility. And technically, the contractors we have here, the local ones, the international ones, they are aware of the standards, the global standards for accessibility. So even without using the national standards, the global standards are there to provide some guidelines. And so it's more about we as citizens and as service providers respecting the laws of the country, because it is a law. And so there is no point in you saying, well, there is a government infrastructure or national infrastructure without making accessibility a point in it. So I think it's something we need to prioritize.
No matter the cost, right?
No, you know, we've always said that disability becomes expensive in managing when you don't plan from the start. Then you put up a nice structure, you need to break it down to fix something. But when you start with it, then the cost, you don't separate and say, this is accessibility bit, so it's expensive. You could only say the whole building is expensive, but not accessibility. So cost doesn't become a bigger issue. In any case, when you provide for access or accessible, you make room for accessibility. It is not only persons with disabilities who use it. Persons without disability, you find the aged using, you'll find children using. So it's a point of making sure that the facilities we build in Ghana are accessible to the needs of everyone. So that's the main point.
I'll go for a break. When I come back, we'll talk politics.
Okay.
All right, so I'll go for 60 seconds success. I'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Focus, true grit. Keep going. Keep your eyes on the prize. No stopping, because winning is not an option. It's 60 Second Success with the Bishop. Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to 60 Second Success with the Bishop. Today I want to talk to you about the importance of taking risks, calculated risks. Life is a journey, my friend, a journey that is full of risks. And you have to decide to take calculated risks, because it is those who have the audacity to face their fears and take risks who become successful. Life is not always smooth. Life oftentimes is a curved path of turbulence, and it demands a lot of diligence so that it can lead to a life of success. Successful people know that in the journey of life, there are times of rain and there are times of sunshine. It is ordinary people who rest because of the rains, but successful people work and they take risks because of the rains. Great success only comes to those who are bold enough to take great calculated risks. Thank you.
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back to the Helping Hand TV show with me, the voice of ability on air for persons with disability. I have Rita with me, the Executive Director of Ghana Federation of Disability Organizations. Rita, let's talk politics. Political parties are going up and down, campaigning, we are getting ready for the elections. The inclusion of persons with disability in the political machinery, is it satisfactory?
To some extent.
Okay.
But there's still more to do.
Okay.
From 2016, building on the experience and the events to date,
okay.
We think that political parties should again pay attention to disability.
Okay.
At the time, we had some political parties in 2016 prioritizing disability issues in their manifestos, which was good. Some making their manifestos more accessible to persons with disabilities so they could read and understand and interpret for themselves to make informed decisions. But beyond that, the disability movement has their own priorities, which have been shared with some of the political parties.
Okay.
And there are more of the things we've talked about. We believe that beyond having them in the manifestos, there should be direct engagement with the disability community to give better interpretation to the manifest, the content of it. Remember, I said that access to information is an issue. And so if you want me to make an informed decision, and I don't know what the content of your manifesto is, it will be difficult for me to vote.
Amazing. Well, I'll cross over to Elom for a spot of music. I'll come back with my special guest. It's a Helping Hand TV show. Stay tuned.
Is the music segment on the Helping Hand TV show.
come back.
Yeah, welcome back to the Helping Hand TV show. I have the Executive Director of the Ghana Federation of Disability Organizations, Rita Kusi Trema, with me. Rita, thank you again for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's round up with what the organization is doing to help your members in the coming elections. What are some of the things you are putting together to make sure that nobody is disenfranchised?
So, as part of our work, we as a federation has 9 disability groups.
Okay.
For instance, we have Ghana Blind Union that is working towards sensitizing its members on the use of tactile ballots system.
Yeah.
That is if the Electoral Commission introduces tactile ballots. And of course, it's an advocacy agenda.
We had it in the last election.
We had it in the last election.
Shouldn't it be automatic?
It should be automatic. But as I said, all the things that were missed out in the current were done in the past. So we should at least continue to engage. So we are engaging to ensure that that system is there. We are trying to ensure that persons with disabilities are well sensitized.
Yeah.
But of course, the Electoral Commission should be the lead in this, so that all other support systems will contribute to what they do.
Because it will help a lot.
Yeah, it will help. So
in trusting the Electoral Commission.
Yeah. So our agenda has been working closely to ensure that the Electoral Commission has a system that includes persons with disabilities.
Yeah. Well, we'll go for H4P Showtime. When we come back, I'll let my very special guest give us a peace message before we round up. H4P Showtime is next.
H4P, celebrating 10 years of bringing dignity to disability. Hooray! It's H4P Showtime.
How? How? How could you make such an egregious and fantastic error? How? How? I can't believe this. How could you? I'm very disappointed in you.
Baby.
How could you?
Sweetheart, it is not like that. At least give me the chance to also say something. Please allow me
explain what? Explain what? What is there to explain? Tell me. What is there to explain when everything is crystal clear and without ambiguity? Fantastic. You see, my elders say that what you cannot see during the day, you will never see at night. Never. And I, Pa Kwesi Williams, I have seen everything. Everything. So tell me, what is there to explain? Tell me now.
But baby.
But just shut up. Fantastic.
Hey baby, you are
you still interrupting me? Look, don't agitate me more than you already have with such nugatory interruptions. Fantastic. So you think it's funny? You think it's funny, eh?
Oh my God.
In fact, I actually thought that, as my wife, you had some respect. Some dignity. How? Did you think of how I would feel? You did not consider my fragile feelings. fantastic. You know how fragile I am. Fantastic. Or did you think I would never find out? Look, answer me. I demand an answer now. Don't just sit there. Answer me. I said don't interrupt me. Let me finish.
Please finish.
Fantastic. You don't want me to talk. You don't want me to talk. Because obviously, the preponderance of evidence suggests that you are outrageously guilty. Fantastic. How?
Please, darling. Please, can I have your express permission to say something?
And what do you have to say?
Please, darling, hear me out. Please.
Look, I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to hear anything emanating from you. How could you? Fantastic.
Please, baby, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But please allow me to explain this whole issue to you, please. Baby.
How? I can't speak.
My prince. My baby. My sweetie. Colin. Coco. My lollipop. My one and only kid. Baby. The love of my life. My sweetheart. The commander-in-chief of my heart. The general overseer of my love. Baby. The one I always love.
That's enough. Enough of the flat fee, which I obviously enjoy a lot. But I just don't get it. I don't get it. Why him? Why didn't you tell me that he was your ex?
But baby...
Why didn't you say anything about the fact that the two of you were in love?
But baby, that was long before I met you.
But why didn't you consider my feelings first? Why?
Baby, I didn't know you by then. I had not met you.
But why that guy?
Please, baby. Please. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry I didn't tell you that I was with him years ago. But baby, I am here now. And I am with you now.
But couldn't you get anybody better?
Please, baby.
Fantastic.
I'm sorry, okay? I am married to you. You are my present and my future. But he is my past.
But why him in particular? Why him?
I'm sorry, okay? Baby, I'm yours exclusively. Now and forever, okay? I'm sorry.
But how am I sure you are still not in love with him?
My God. Baby, I know you are hurt.
Very, very.
I can understand. And I'm sorry for causing it. But baby, you don't have to hurt me to compensate for your hurt. Baby, it is you I love, and that is why I married you and not him. Have I given you any cause to ever doubt me, even in the remotest sense?
What about your boss?
What about him?
Are you not attracted to him?
Oh my God. Oh my God. That is not fair to me. That is not fair. Baby, was I wrong in telling my husband that I was getting attracted to my boss so he helps me? Was I wrong? I thought as your wife, I should be open and truthful to you if I had emotional challenges. Baby, that is why we are married. That is why we are married, for crying out loud. I can't believe that I trusted you with the truth about my emotions, and then now you use that against me because something came up and you are hurt. Baby, that is so unfair. If I can't talk to you about what I feel emotionally, then who else should I talk to? Who? Baby, it's so unfair and it hurts. It hurts so bad. I'm sorry.